Can you start by introducing who you are and what institution you come from?
So hi all, I am Mahasweta Saha. I am a senior scientist at Plymouth Marine Lab.
Hi, I'm Laura Foster. I head up the Clean Seas programme at the Marine Conservation Society.
I'm Dr. Gemma Kulk, and I work as an Earth observation scientist at Plymouth Marine Laboratory.
So the project title is Testing the Potential of Seaweeds and Seagrasses to Improve Water Quality. Mahasweta, do you want to start to tell us where this idea came from?
So one of the most pressing challenges that we face today is poor water quality. And recent work has found that seagrasses have the ability to reduce the abundance of human pathogens such as Vibrio and also E. coli. And the project basically stemmed from this because we do not yet know the mechanisms by which seagrasses can remove these pathogens. And we absolutely have no idea what seaweeds can do. And our aim is to conduct very much evidence-based work in this field to inform policymakers.
We have done work in the southwest of India looking at the distribution of Vibrio cholera bacteria in a large lake there using satellite observations. But we have never done this in more temperate waters, which for us is very interesting because we see a sort of spread of these Vibrio species to the sort of polar regions in much more temperate regions under climate change. So for us, it's a really interesting opportunity, and also for the student, of course, to see if we can map those bacteria from space.
What we're interested in is sort of very much that real world applicability. What are the potential for sort of seagrass, etc., to really be improving water quality, but also how are they adversely kind of affected? And we've got very little sort of information about that.
I understand that this is a problem that needs to be tackled in an interdisciplinary way. So can you tell me a bit more about your different skills that you bring and that the project needs?
I am a chemical ecologist, and I work at the interface of chemistry and ecology and also microbiology.
So I currently work as an Earth observation scientist, but I actually have a background in marine biology, doing lab experiments and field work. So I'm going to bring all of that in and specifically train and supervise the students in the remote sensing part.
I have a sort of background looking at the issues around marine pollution, but we'll also be bringing in the sort of wider Marine Conservation Society's interests in looking at sort of marine protected areas and work that we've been doing for seagrass restoration.
There will be field samplings throughout the year. So the project is a very unique combination of field work, lab work, and desk-based work. In PML, we have a very good induction system. Obviously, the student has to go through different inductions before the science can start. That will involve field work and also lab work.
What kind of person do you think would be really good for this?
I would probably be looking for someone that has a speciality in one of the areas that we have, and then we just train them up. I think all of these things you can learn while you do your research.
For us, the key thing is that openness and willing to learn, wanting to look at how this applies to kind of real world applications and all the challenges that in itself entails, I think would be a really important part of the person who's applying.
From an academic perspective, I mean, because this is so transdisciplinary in nature and you get trained as an analytical chemist, as a microbiologist, molecular biology, plus you have remote sensing. So I think that this project gives a unique opportunity to the student if you're trained in microbiology and in like analytical chemistry, there is this industrial aspect where you can get into organizations like Environment Agency or the conservation work with LoRa that will lead to policy development. So I see a lot of opportunities through this project. It's up to the student to decide which field he or she would like to pursue more intensively.
I just want to add that what I see in research at the moment is really like a big ask for interdisciplinary science that you can apply, that can be used to make change in policy or outside. So this student would be perfect for that.
The plan is to use our own network to get the student exposed to these various stakeholders we all are already aware of, so that the student can build his or her own international and national network of collaborators.
I'm sure that potential applicants will want to get in touch to ask more questions so that they can make sure they submit the best application that they can. Who should they go to first?
As an initial contact point, I am more than happy if you put forward my name.
Great.